Hi! So today I'm going to do a little tutorial on reusable nappies. A few of you asked about them from a previous video I showed of my morning routine with my baby. When I was searching on how to use reusable nappies, how to find them, etc., I found it really difficult. And there was lots of people showing particular brands that they were sponsored by, and so I want to just have a really honest review of the nappies that I've been using, how to use them, because actually they're so much more simple than the TikToks that I found. So I am using the Bambino Mio, and there's two different types of Mio. There's the Duo, which is a two system. So you have a nappy up until the baby is about 6 months. I think it's around 8 to 10 kilos, and then you swap to a larger nappy. I didn't like that idea because it meant buying two sets of nappies. They also came with quite thick inserts as well. I didn't really like those ones. So I went with the single system. I also bought them secondhand. So you can go on websites or join mums groups and see if you can get them secondhand. That will also save you some money and help you get some tips. The nappy itself, so you can see we've got buttons on here. So this means that you can make the nappies smaller and then they can grow with your baby. You can use them from newborn. We had a 3-kilo baby. I found that they were still too big for her, even using the Mio Solo size ones. So we did use disposables for the first, I would say, to be honest, about a month. We tried these every now and then, but they were just too big and just didn't work. So in my opinion, I think from newborn, you can't really use them. So then we started using from about a month. You have a Velcro system. So again, this is adjustable as the baby grows. So that's really great. They have really nice, fun designs on them. And then when you open the nappy up, it comes like this. So it's two parts sewn together. So here is your, what we would call your booster, basically what the urine is going to soak into, so the liquid. And you'll see on this side it has like a little flap that you can put your hand in, and then what you'll do is there's a little pocket in the nappy. You just put that into there, and then what this does is then gives a layer against your baby's skin. So if I pull that in, you can see now there's a layer here. So the urine will soak through this into the booster at the back. You can buy other boosters. So this is just another simple booster. It's just Towelin, and it's from the same brand. So this is the Mio, the Bambino. And you would again just put that booster inside here. So if you find there's a lot of urine, maybe we'll get to it, but you want to be changing every 2 hours, but maybe you don't have the time, you're traveling, you might want to boost it. Also at night time, you also might want to boost them. That's what that is. And then you can have these. This is bamboo, and again, it is from the same brand, but you can just buy these separately. And this is just a bamboo material. And what this does, you can buy disposable ones, but again, I was thinking about the environment and cost. And also I live in a place where it's not very accessible to get those, so I would have to import them. So you then place this on top of your nappy like this. You can put talcum powder if that's what you want to use. You can also put that on there. This is just another layer to keep it away from your baby's skin, but also if they do a poo, you can just lift this out and you get rid of the poo. When they're a newborn, you're sort of washing it under the tap because it's quite runny, and then as they get older, it's a bit more solid, you can just plop it into the toilet, and again, just give it a quick hand rub, and we'll get to the washing and storage. So you just place that onto here like so, and then you would just put this onto baby. Now, I would recommend changing every 2 hours as you would a disposable nappy, but more so because there is no chemicals in this that pull the moisture away from the baby's skin. So if the diaper is left on too long and it's wet, obviously that's just urine now touching your baby's skin, and it will irritate your baby. What I will say, we didn't have any nappy rash, we didn't have anything like that. We were so lucky, and I think it's because we used disposables. The one thing that we realized though, at night time, once she started sleeping longer than, let's say, 8 hours, if you leave this nappy on too long, it will irritate their skin. And it will kind of leave like a burn, I guess, because it's just urine against the skin. This can also happen with disposable nappies, so you don't have to choose because of that, but I would just suggest that at night time you could just use a disposable nappy, but also you can just boost to kind of give more of a wick for the moisture to go through. Then when you're changing the nappy, you take this out. Like I say, this piece of cloth, this little insert here, can just come out. If it's got poo, you just sort of hand wash it before you put it in the washing machine or hand wash it. And then this nappy here, very handily, there is a little pull at the back, and that's to help you pull this out, because when you wash the nappy, you want this out, because this is obviously where most of the urine is going to be. We soak these, so we have a plastic bin that we put them in during the day. Then at night we will soak them in a bucket with a bit of Dettol, a little bit of bicarbonate of soda, so nothing too hardy, and this will just help to take out the uric acid that's going to be sat on this, because if you don't do that, you just put it in the washing machine, the uric acid will build up, and again, once you start putting this on, your child urinates, that acid will start sitting on your baby's skin. You'll start to see burns again. So you've really got to soak these the night before. It's really not that much of a hassle. Maybe 5 minutes to do that. Some boiling water, Dettol, bicarbonate of soda. Let's give them a little scrub, soak them overnight. And then in the morning, put them in a washing machine for a quick wash and spin dry. And then we dry these out in the sun. I will say these, especially these bamboo liners here, they dry really quickly. Within half an hour this is dry, maybe even less if it's sunny, and I would say an hour or two for these to dry, and also the inserts as well. I would definitely recommend getting them and trying a couple of different brands if you can. If like me that just wasn't available, so this was the brand that kept coming up and I got it, this was actually fine for us, and you will start to find a routine and a washing routine that's good for you. The good thing is it saves a lot of money. $800 to $1,000 a year is spent on nappies for one baby, and for the environment we have about, I think, 167 billion tons of, or 167 billion nappies every year in waste. They don't biodegrade because they have plastics in, so these ones you can just keep using them. You can use them for the next baby, you can give them to other people when they're done. It's clean. It is hygienic because you're using Dettol and you're drying in the sun. Just making sure they're washed thoroughly, it's very hygienic. When you're traveling, you're out and about, I just take a wet bag. This is basically just a bag that is waterproof. So once we have a dirty nappy, we put that into the wet bag, just carry it around for the rest of the day until we get home, and then we can put it into our nappy bin ready for soaking. Really didn't take that long to learn. So if you have any other questions about disposable nappies, let me know in the comments below.